بسم الله والحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله. Our Master Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam is the possessor of great charisma as well as being the humblest of people. How were his houses? How did the chambers of the Prophet's wives look? Alayhi salatu wassalam. How big were their chambers? What did their chambers contain? How was the furniture of their chambers? When the Messenger of Allah alayhi salatu wassalam migrated to Al-Madinah, he first stayed in the house of Abu Ayyub al-Ansari, may Allah raise his rank. After that, the Prophet alayhi salatu wassalam built his masjid and built the houses of his wives close to the masjid. If someone were praying facing the Qibla in the masjid of the Messenger of Allah, the houses of his wives would be on the left side of the one who's praying. The first of the wives of the Prophet alayhi salatu wassalam after the death of Lady Khadija was Lady Sauda, the daughter of Zam'a. After her, the Prophet married Aisha, the daughter of Abu Bakr, and after her, Hafsa, the daughter of Umar. The Prophet alayhi salatu wassalam also built a house for his daughter Fatima. After that were the houses of the other wives of the Prophet alayhi salatu wassalam. And whenever he married a woman, he built a house for her. As for the description of the chambers of the Prophet's wives alayhi salatu wassalam, they were very humble homes. The houses were built either with clay or from palm leaf stalks with clay, and their ceilings were made from the stalks. The house of Lady Aisha, for example, had two doors, a door that led to the masjid and a door from the other direction. That other direction was a passageway of the Prophet. He would use it to go between the houses of the rest of his wives. Lady Fatima's house had a window that gave a view to the house of the Messenger of Allah alayhi salatu wassalam. And as for the size of the house, it was approximately 5 meters by 4 meters, and this proves to us that it was a small, humble house. However, it was filled with blessings. What also proves to us how small the house was is what Lady Aisha said, that the Prophet alayhi salatu wassalam would be praying at night and she would be laying down in the Prophet's Qibla. Her feet would be where the Messenger of Allah alayhi salatu wassalam made sujood. When the Prophet wanted to prostrate, he would grip her foot, meaning he would put his noble hand on her foot so that she would move her feet. Then Aisha would pull her feet towards herself so that the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alayhi wasallam would prostrate. When he would rise from his prostration, she would stretch her feet back out. The Prophet alayhi salatu wassalam built an attic over his house, and he would sit in it sometimes. We mentioned that Lady Aisha's house had 2 doors. They were made of juniper or teak, which is a hard tree. And the walls of the house were not coated, they were left as they are, made from clay or from palm leaf stalks mixed with clay. As for the furniture of the house of the Prophet, he had little furniture indeed. One of the companions narrated that the Prophet alayhi salatu wassalam had a leather pillow stuffed with fiber, and the Prophet alayhi salatu wassalam tossed him the pillow so that he can sit on it. So this companion said, "Bal anta ijlis alayha ya Rasulullah. Rather you sit on it, O Messenger of Allah." So the Prophet said to him, "La, bal anta ijlis alayha. No, rather you sit on it." So the companion said, فَجَلَسْتُ عَلَى وِسَادَةِ رَسُولِ اللَّهِ صَلَّى اللَّهُ عَلَيْهِ وَسَلَّمَ وَجَلَسَ رَسُولُ اللَّهِ عَلَيْهِ الصَّلَاةُ وَالسَّلَامُ عَلَى الْأَرْضِ. So I sat on the Messenger of Allah's pillow, alayhi salatu wassalam, and the Messenger of Allah sat on the ground. As for the mattress of the Messenger of Allah, it was a humble leather mattress stuffed with fiber. All of this proves that the Messenger of Allah's heart was not attached to the worldly matters, nor to decoration. The Prophet died in the house of Lady Aisha, may Allah accept her deeds. The people differed about where the Prophet should be buried. So Abu Bakr radiyallahu anhu said, I heard the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alayhi wasallam saying, Al-Anbiya'u yudfanuna haythu yuqbadun. The prophets are buried where they die. Thus, the Prophet was buried in the chamber of Lady Aisha. After the Prophet was buried, Lady Aisha remained in her chamber. She would put a veil between herself and the grave, and whenever she wanted to, she would see the noble, blessed grave. Buried at the Prophet's shoulder was her father Abu Bakr. That is because it was her house, and she wanted to bury her father close to his beloved friend and companion, the Messenger of Allah. Then, when our master Umar ibn al-Khattab became ill with the sickness that led to his death, he sought Lady Aisha's permission to be buried with his two companions, the Messenger of Allah and Abu Bakr. She permitted him, and Umar was later buried at the shoulder of Abu Bakr, may Allah accept their deeds. And there remains a fourth burial spot. It is said that when Jesus, the son of Mary, descends to the earth, he will be buried there after his death, in the chamber of Lady Aisha, close to Prophet Muhammad, alayhim as-salatu was-salam. As for Lady Aisha, she was buried in the cemetery of Al-Baqiyah. These are the houses of the Messenger of Allah, and these are our homes. Let everyone look at his house, and let him compare it to the house of the Messenger of Allah. Are we better than the Messenger of Allah? By Allah, we are not. Are we higher in status? By Allah, we are not. Are we nobler to Allah than the Messenger of Allah? By Allah, we are not. So let everyone check himself, and let him look at how he got busy with the worldly life and abandoned imitating the Messenger of Allah, alayhi salatu wassalam. These are the houses of the Messenger of Allah, the great leader of this ummah, the one who filled the earth with knowledge, wisdom, light, and iman. To him the kings humbled themselves, and he was the humblest of all people. This is the man the angel Gabriel, Jibreel alayhi salam, came to him one day saying, O Muhammad, surely Allah has given you the choice between being a prophet who is a king and a prophet who is a humble slave. The Prophet glanced with a glance of a student at Jibreel alayhi salam. So Jibreel alayhi salam signaled to the Prophet, O Muhammad, be humble. So the Prophet preferred being humble over being a king prophet, and he expressed this by saying, أَجُوعُ يَوْمًا وَأَشْبَعُ يَوْمًا. I choose to go hungry for a day and eat on another day. This is my beloved Messenger of Allah, alayhi salatu wassalam, the one who did not request from his Lord a full stomach every day. So what's wrong with us, chasing a vanishing worldly life? Ya Allah, we ask you to change our situation to the best of situations. Ya Allah, we ask you to make us amongst the humble and those whose hearts are truly detached from the dunya. Walhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala Rasulillah, and Allah knows best.